Balanced sculptures, inspired by the work of Nancy Graves. Balance is something of equal weight used to provide equilibrium. Notice we have the scale that is balanced, has equal weight on each side. How is it that that rock is balanced? Here are two sculptures by the artist Nancy Graves. Would you say that they are balanced? Visually, no, but they are balanced because they aren't falling over. One of the ways she makes this look imbalanced is because there's a small base. The one on the left is being held up by 3 little feet. The one on the right is actually 4 bases. However, there are diagonal lines in them that give us the illusion of it tipping, and the top part has more on it to make it look imbalanced. An artist starts with a sketch. That's a kind of drawing. However, when working on the project, changes may need to be made. This is Nancy Graves working on one of her drawings for her sculptures. Here is one of her sculptures. In the video behind the scenes, we see Nancy Graves create one of these sculptures. And you'll notice that in the video, she has to change the idea on how things are held together. This sculpture is made out of all metal parts. They're bronze, and they're able to be welded together. Welding is a very strong way of, kind of like glue, of attaching metal pieces. That is one of the ways that she's able to trick your eye by making it look imbalanced, because welding the parts together holds them very strong. Also, when you look closely, some of these objects are objects of nature, like leaves or vines, things like that normally wouldn't be stiff or be able to hold it together. When you follow a color in the sculpture, you can take a trip around the sculpture. Let's follow the color yellow. If you look at the color yellow, it starts out down here. And if you look for it again, it's on the other base. But then when you look for yellow, you travel way up to the top and onto the side. That's from looking at it from this direction. If we were to move to the other side of the sculpture, we might travel the color yellow in a different direction. But she has your eye travel throughout the sculpture following different colors. Let's say we follow the color blue. Well, it's down here, it's over here, and it's also here, here, and over here. If we were able to see the other side of the sculpture, we might see more blue. So our eye travels through and around the sculpture by following the color. Let's look at this one. You look at it and see what color you want to pick and how does it travel throughout this side of the sculpture. If you picked yellow, it starts out down here and it dots around over here and it spirals around up here and around here, over there, and then we even see some back here. You can do that with many different colors in her sculpture. Nancy Stevenson Graves was born on December 23rd in 1940. She lived until 1995. She lived in Pittsfield. She was born in Pittsfield, Massachusetts in the United States. And she was a sculptor, an artist, a filmmaker, a painter, a printmaker, and a stage designer. Here's a picture of Nancy Graves. She was inspired by nature. She says, all art is but an imitation of nature, which means that it replicates or copies nature. She says also that sometimes questions are more important than answers. Here are 2 artworks by different artists. Notice how the artists are showing us balance in their sculptures. They're kind of tricking our eye as if they would fall over. The artist does this not only by having more weight on the top part and a very small base, but also we see a lot of diagonal lines, which give the illusion of them being tippy or falling over. You're creating a sculpture that is imbalanced. What type of lines will you see in the sculpture? Is it okay if the sculpture actually falls over when it's created? Think about these questions while you're working on your project. The end.